director of the Entrepreneurship Center Network and one of the founders of the Entrepreneurship Avenue. So Rudolf will talk a little bit about the Entrepreneurship Avenue event series and why it's so important, and really what are the key cornerstones of Entrepreneurship Avenue. So without further ado, a warm welcome and thank you to Rudolf.
Thank you for the kind introduction, James. So hello and welcome to the Entrepreneurship Avenue 2021. As James already mentioned, from the very start of Entrepreneurship Avenue in 2014, the mission of this program was to inspire, to encourage, and to support young people to follow an entrepreneurial path, be it by founding their own companies, be it by joining the entrepreneurship ecosystem, be it in the civil society. Basically follow your passion, follow your dreams. And as a kind of a warm-up to this year's Entrepreneurship Avenue, thank you for embarking on the journey. And as a warm-up, I would like to introduce you to two very important cornerstones of that program. So firstly, let's have a look at today's registration. So we are more than happy, excited and proud that more than 750 people registered for today's kickoff. You come from more than 125 different universities, and you represent 78 different nationalities. So Entrepreneurship Avenue provides you with an opportunity to experience entrepreneurship in a highly interdisciplinary setting. Sounds great? Yes, and trust me, it's rewarding. Every idea, every project will get better the more different perspectives and views are involved. However, in the beginning, it might be a little bit tricky to get started in such an interdisciplinary setting. And I would like to show you some quotes of what business people think about tech guys and what life sciences people think of tech guys and business guys, because we've been doing this cross-university entrepreneurship course in Vienna for quite some time. 3 universities are involved, and at the start of a semester we would ask the students, well, what do you think of your fellow students of the other universities and disciplines? And this is kind of like, I'm going to show you some highlights and to basically give you some kind of warm-up. So the first quote I'm going to show you, they are playful, they are curious, energetic, but slightly psychotic. So you may want to think about who thinks like this of which kind of university. And this is the view of students of the University of Life Sciences and Natural Resources about their fellow students from the Technical University. Analytical, good understanding of numbers. That's the way that business students see their colleagues at the Technical University. The next one may be a little bit hard. It says like there are 80% Arschkriecher who are forced to attend this university by society or even by their own parents to climb the career ladder in a corporate company. 20% of them are really interested in economics, and therefore they are going to attend an individual path. And that's the self-view of business students about their fellow students. Let's move on. Good looking, they know how to sell things, no one actually needs special skills in networking. So that's a view about business students. Weed smoking hippies appears to be a view of some tech students about students of natural resources, in love with nature, food and how they correlate. Another view on students of natural resources. And the last two to come, security oriented, too close into the Austrian bubble, too conservative, and searching where the next employer will be. So that's the view of tech students about themselves. And the last one is pretty simple. That's farmers, and that's the self-view of the students of natural resources about their colleagues. So it may be tricky it's in the beginning, but it's rewarding. And so I invite you to like embrace this journey with an entrepreneurial mind. So what is this term entrepreneurship? I brought with me 3 definitions for you that I personally pretty like. And if you screen through them, let's start with the middle with Peter Drucker. He says entrepreneurship means searching for change, responding to it, and exploiting it as an opportunity. So we see this magic word of opportunity. Howard Stevenson is building on this one. Entrepreneurship may be defined as the pursuit of opportunity without regard to resources currently controlled. So whenever you start something, more often than not, you will not know everything and have everything at hand that you need to make your ideas successful. But that's what entrepreneurs do. They find their network, they find their resources, and thus make their ideas and projects happen. So here are the two cornerstones of opportunities and entrepreneurship. So firstly, the competence and the capability of recognizing opportunities. And opportunities are like buses. They come around every minute. You can find opportunities in societal challenges, the SDGs, some unsolved problems, and the classic, there is a gap between existing technologies and market needs and what's wanted in the market. So that's the opportunity. And the next step for you as an entrepreneur is to roll up your sleeves and get down to work. So you find the right people, you build an organization, you find the resources, you find the money. So this is what we invite you to do, is to search for opportunities and get down to work. So, and this is you, and this is the second thing that entrepreneurship is about. It's about people, because entrepreneurship can be understood as a state of mind of people who want to alter the future. So I would like to show you some typical motivating traits, hopefully, of entrepreneurs. So what makes an entrepreneur? Entrepreneurs do what they love. Little children, they experience a sentiment of total enthusiasm about 20 times a day. So this is what drives them. So for you as an entrepreneur, do what you love, because then you will be better in it. So firstly, entrepreneurs do what they love. Secondly, think like travelers, because the best ideas may be born in unusual places by combining former experiences. So try to combine knowledge and different skills and mindsets. Entrepreneurs are adaptive, because many companies, as we know them, many successful companies, when they started with a different idea in mind, with a different product, with a different view of what their market, what their customers would be, but they adapted because they found out that they were not on the right track, so they adapted. And that's a very important skill and mindset of the entrepreneur, to be adaptive and responsive to feedback. And here you can see the logos of some companies. Some of them took part in the Entrepreneurship Avenue a few years ago, and they adopted their business models and eventually became even more successful. It also means entrepreneurs need to be persistent. In a sense, don't give up when you fall for the first time. So here's a quote from Mr. Thomas Alva Edison, who would say, "I've never failed, but I've invented 10,000 things that do not work." And even these failures would help him to become better next time. And last but not least, and this is why you are here, because entrepreneurs do. And you start somewhere and you start sometime, because every pro was once an amateur, every expert was once a beginner. So dream big and start now. So I invite you to join us on this journey. Get started. You may fail, but never mind. You just go to repeat and succeed. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the Entrepreneurship Avenue Journey 2021.
For that super insightful presentation. I know that I can resonate with a lot of what Rudolf had to say tonight about entrepreneurship. It really is a journey, and there are so many steps, and it's all about failing and getting up again, and making the best of each failure and learning along the way.